How do you have the perfect evening in Magic Kingdom? We gave it our best shot. Get ready to rate my trip.
Okay, it's officially 5:30. I'm in Magic Kingdom and I'm about to have the best 4 hours. I'm so excited. We're heading around Magic Kingdom. I'm actually super excited. I feel a little giddy. Been a while since I've gotten to have some Magic Kingdom fun. It's chilly tonight, which means it's not gonna be hot. It's gonna be very comfortable. And we've got 3 lightning lanes stacked up. So at the very least, we're riding 3 fun rides. Now, I'm kind of going back and forth on what I wanna do. If I wanna spend my first half doing some fun rides and then my back half eating a little dinner and watching a little entertainment. I'm really torn. There's one thing I know for sure I'm gonna do, but for now, we're starting with Pirates of the Caribbean in Adventureland. Now I am using multi-pass tonight, which means I am going to be using some lightning lanes, which will help us skip the lines and not spend a ton of time in long lines. If you don't know what multi-pass is, it's Disney Skip the Line service. It is paid and it varies based on date and by park. The way multi-pass operates is you get 3 guaranteed lightning lanes that you're going to skip the long lines in your chosen park. As you use them, you get to select more, and they have 2 different tiers. Tier 1 is the more popular attractions. So here in Magic Kingdom, it's Tiana's Bayou Adventure, Peter Pan, Space Mountain, and I believe Jungle Cruise. And then Tier 2 are maybe attractions that are still popular, but maybe not quite as in demand. So our Tier 1 today is Space Mountain because it's my personal preference. I also think Peter Pan is a pretty good use if it's high on your priority list because that is a long line and a short attraction, and it can be pretty frustrating to wait a long time for that one. Now, a lot of people are not big fans of Peter Pan because it's a classic, but if you're looking for thrills, it's not necessarily going to provide that. So I wouldn't say use it for your first Tier 1 unless it's just really high on your priority list. Pirates is a 25-minute wait right now, so glad we have a lightning lane. If you don't know what Pirates is, it's a slow-moving boat ride that takes you back to the time of piracy, plundering, pillaging, and Captain Jack Sparrow. Very famous, lots of fun, and one that I personally really love.
Hi there, it's me, Sage Turkey, and welcome to my best 4 hours in the Magic Kingdom. Because my best 4 hours don't actually start in the Magic Kingdom. It starts on the monorail loop, is one of my favorite things to do when I'm visiting the Magic Kingdom. I am actually going to bet that Emma is not starting, leaving, or ending her 4 hours outside of Magic Kingdom proper. I don't think she's coming to a resort to get a nice cocktail before you enter. Joke's on her. It's the best way to do it. But one of my favorite things to do if I'm having, you know, my perfect 4 hours, especially if it's an adult perfect 4 hours, I love to take the resort monorail to have just a little cocktail moment. Now, other than table service restaurants and one really new, hard to get in lounge, Magic Kingdom is, actually no, sorry, 2 really hard to get in lounges. One is harder to get in because of a lot of money, but the other one is harder to get in because it's new, but whatever. What I'm trying to say is that Magic Kingdom, for the most part, is a dry park. You're not going to be able to have a nice cocktail or beverage like you normally would at Hollywood Studios, Animal Kingdom, or Epcot. This definitely still ties back to the more old school Disney days. But anyway, I like to get my beverage to go. I did talk to cast members and I said, hey, can I take this drink outside? And they're like, yeah, you're good. You'll have to throw it away before you get to security. So we just take a little drink it as you're as you're socializing together with like you and I or whoever you're with. Super cute. And now we're like starting off with like a little bit of like liquid courage to enjoy this beautiful 4 hours, less than 4 hours now, but this is great. I love this. Wow, what a perfect 4-hour scenario. Now there are plenty of other bars at the Grand Floridian or the Polynesian or Contemporary. I always opt for the Contemporary because they do have this really great walking path. And to-go drinks are just kind of like in their vocabulary. It's a little harder for the Grand Floridian. They do have a walking path, but it's not as ideal because their main new lobby bar, the Perch, isn't really full service. It's limited options. But really, if you're getting a drink to go, check out the Outer Rim. I know it just looks like a random airport bar at Disney, but super cute. Also, Steakhouse 71, a great option. That one doesn't feel as casual as Outer Rim does. but an option nonetheless.
Okay, first ride checked off. Now our second ride of the night was gonna be Space Mountain. I did have a lightning lane for it. However, it just went down. So plans, wrench already thrown into them. So we're thinking on the fly. Okay, I'm walking this direction, but honestly, I'm kind of wondering. We're kind of exploring. I'm not really sure what our goals are. Wait times are a little wild. If it says anything, journey under the sea with the Little Mermaid is 40 minutes. Everything else is about that or higher. Dumbo and everything like on the smaller end that typically has shorter wait times is sitting at about 30. Space Mountain has not opened back up. I have a lightning lane for Haunted Mansion. I have my redemption pass because space is closed, which I'd like to save for Space Mountain because I personally really want to ride it. I'm hoping to watch Disney's nighttime parade tonight, which is going to kick off in about 2 hours. And I'm also hoping maybe to catch Happily Ever After. Now, I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to do both because I'm typically a one nighttime show kind of girl, not necessarily two. But there's a lot of changes going on right now. Typically, Big Thunder Mountain would be high on my list. It's still closed. It's been closed since January 2025, and it's going to be closed until sometime in 2026. We don't really have an opening date at the time that I'm filming it, but a lot of new magic is being added, with some magic that was inspired by the original concept art for the ride. So really excited, but definitely ready for that closure to be done. Frontierland's going through a lot of changes because they also have semi-recently, a few months ago, closed all of Tom Sawyer Island, Rivers of America, all that good jazz here in the middle, and they are replacing it with Piston Peak, which is going to be a Cars-inspired land, and I am very excited. They've given us quite a few details as far as the 2 new rides that are coming. One's a rally racers, one is more family friendly, but it also means there's not many high must-dos on my list. Now, Country Bears typically would be a high must-do for me. I absolutely adore the Country Bears, but I like to kind of keep my rides balanced with my entertainment. Is it already time for a Peoplemover moment? Is it already time for a dinner moment? That's what I'm debating. I don't want a dinner too soon, but I also don't want to do a ton of zigzagging. So that's where I'm like, what do I want to do next? Maybe the answer is dinner and then mansion. And then we keep making a circle before we go to Tomorrowland, all before the parade starts in 2 hours. Will we do it all? I'm hesitant to say.
Now, at the time of filming, we're actually here during the holiday season, if you couldn't tell already, which means Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party is happening many times this week. And this happens to be one of the nights that Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party is not happening, which means there's going to be quite a few people here. We're definitely going to deal with some crowds tonight, but we did a pretty solid job with lightning lanes ahead of time, especially knowing that we were all kind of competing for 4 hours in the evening. That definitely took a little stress off of, grabbing all the good things we wanted to for the morning. So we've got some good lightning lanes for the rides. The only thing, which is kind of a bummer, and I'm going to do my best to see if I can make something happen, but really at most parks, after 5 o'clock, that's when a lot of the live entertainment starts to kind of go away. They have their final shows, they have their final meet and greets, parades are over, all the above. So we're going to do our best with live entertainment tonight because, as we all know, say it with me, live entertainment is important. But we're going to start with some attractions. We're actually going to start with my favorite dark ride attraction. It's going to take us a second to get there because, well, it is a tad busy here right now. Wait, we have entertainment happening right now. This is crazy. What?
Oh, I'm so glad you're here too. It's my favorite time of year to celebrate the holidays.
I've made my way back to Main Street. It looks darker than it is. It's not even quite 6 o'clock yet. I've only done one thing in my half an hour, which is not typically the pace I like to be at, especially when my time's limited. But the lightning lane for Pirates was actually fairly backed up. That's how you can tell it's kind of busy right now. So I want to mobile order for Casey's. Casey's, you either love it or you hate it. It's hot dogs, french fries, and plastic cheese. I love it. I've been craving it for weeks. This is the one dinner I knew I really wanted. 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna tell you to mobile order here. Take the easy way out to avoid the lines. For some reason, my Disney Experience app, which is where you can mobile order, it's free and gives you a lot of tools that you can use on your vacation. For some reason, mine is acting wonky. It will not take my card, so I'm gonna go wait in line. It's not looking too crazy, and hopefully it won't be. Okay, this is my dinner. I am eating with a lovely view of the Emporium because I'm not here for the vibes. I'm here to enjoy this, eat it fairly quickly, and then be on the move. So I grabbed one of my favorites, mini corn dog nuggets with fries and a $1 side of plastic cheese. I know that some people are like, this is not as good as you guys hype it up to be, and maybe that's true, but I love it. It makes me happy, and I'm having the best evening ever, so this is what we're having. They're crispy, they're crunchy, they're comforting, and they're familiar, and I just love it. I love it with the cheese. I did not start doing the cheese until I started working here, and it changed my whole life. I don't know, I find it comforting, like truly, and they're not good if you try to make them at home. I've tried, and there's something about the Magic Kingdom air.
I absolutely loved that. I was like, what a pleasant surprise. It's been a while since I've been back to Magic Kingdom at night, and I truly forgot they were doing the Frozen surprise for normal park guests. So that was so great, especially because I love Olaf's Frozen Adventure, which is what all that material is from. When we were together, it's just like, it just like makes me cry every time. I just think it's the meaning behind the song. When we are together, that's my favorite time of year. Like, oh gosh, it just gets me right here. Anyway, hey, but look at that. I was bummed about live entertainment, and that was the first thing we saw. We were welcomed into live entertainment. So next, we're gonna go to my very favorite dark ride here at Magic Kingdom. It's something that is a must-do for me, especially just because of my emotional ties to it, because it was my daughter's first ride ever, and she loves it so much. But it also ties to my own childhood, just because of the little boy and the imagination. Just love it. So this is the Mini Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. The Mini Adventures of Winnie the Pooh is a slow-moving dark ride that takes you through that classic movie, all the different chapters and vignettes that happen within that, heffalumps and woozles, the big flood, a blustery day, all of it. It is currently a 60-minute wait, but I have a fast pass. So using our first fast pass of the day.
I took a few minutes to eat all my corn dog nuggets. They're delicious. I'm so happy I did that. Okay, we are back in Frontierland, and there's like an awkward amount of time before my next thing, which is Haunted Mansion. We got about 20 minutes until it starts, 25. But I don't want to keep running back and forth. I think that wastes a lot more time in a park like Magic Kingdom. That's not necessarily true for every park, but I do feel that way here. So I think I'm gonna go do Country Bear Jamboree, and then by the time that is done, it should be just about time for my Lightning Lane for Haunted Mansion, which I'm very excited about. And also, I'm excited to watch the Country Bears. It's been too long. So much fun. I love that one. It's just a bunch of bears singing a bunch of Disney classics in the style of like Nashville type music. Now, I hope That's My Legacy is one of my favorites. It did recently change over the last few years, which a lot of Disney diehards didn't love. I wasn't one of those people. I love the change. I think it's very sweet, and I think it's still a lot of fun, but great for the next generation, which change can be hard. I'm struggling with Muppets over in Hollywood Studios, so I respect your struggle. This is just not one that I'm joining in on. Now it's time for my Haunted Mansion Lightning Lane, and this is where the Haunted Mansion line ends, which is absolutely crazy. Now, I will say it looks a little bit worse than it might have in the past because part of the outdoor line has been taken over by construction. You can see all these lovely construction walls for Piston Peak. There's just walls as far as the eye can see. I actually had a coworker make a joke that right now it feels like Walt Disney World, and I totally agree with that sentiment, especially in Magic Kingdom and Hollywood Studios. And you know what? I'll say Animal Kingdom as well. It feels like walls everywhere. Even Epcot has a few random ones right now. So it's just, that's kind of what to expect in 2026. A lot of walls, a lot of construction. That being said, the line is still pretty darn hefty anyways. Luckily for me, my Lightning Lane is starting. So I'm gonna go tap in to ride this dark ride that takes you inside the Haunted Mansion where you're gonna see ghosts and ghouls and fun stuff. It's not actually scary, but it might be for some younger kiddos. So if you're scared of the dark, be, considerate of that.
Incredible, love that ride. While I was in line, I was able to choose my next Lightning Lane, which was for a 10 o'clock Space Mountain. That is a little past my 4 hours, so I decided to grab it anyway, but immediately start modifying it to see if I can grab an earlier time. And right away, a 6:55, I believe, or 6:50 Lightning Lane slot came up, which is amazing for Space Mountain, which means we're gonna go right there. We've got 20 minutes or so to kill before we do that. So the real question is, what are we doing to kill some time? Tomorrowland Galactic Blast from 5 to 9. They're playing Hilary Duff, Lizzie McGuire. Let's go. So that was Atomic Blonde, and you can find her all over Disney. She's also at Disney Springs a lot. Sometimes she's here for Halloween parties and the Christmas parties, and just even like evenings like this, New Year's Eve. The DJs here at Disney are awesome, and live entertainment is important. Let's go.
Okay, just got off Haunted Mansion. It took me half an hour using Lightning Lane, and it's been so bad. It actually stopped moving twice while I was on there for a while. It's been so bad they've cleared the queue. If that says anything about the vibes for the evening, which is fine. Also, if you're in a queue or if you see an attraction goes down just like Space Mountain did, and just like Haunted Mansion obviously has for some other people, definitely remember that Disney is going to try to reopen it before the end of the night. If it's high on your priority list, keep an eye on it. Be willing to kind of hang out for a while near the entrance so you can get on it when it reopens. But if it's not high on your priority list, leave, come back. They'll try to reopen it. If they can't, they can't. It's 9 times out of 10 out of their hands if they cannot. The 10th time is it's 11:59 and it closes at midnight. Like, they are always going to try to open it, so don't stress too much. Now, it's already 7:10. We are almost 2 hours in. We've done like 4 things, if you include our dinner, which not the pace I wanted to be on, but that's okay. We finally made it over into Fantasyland. In Fantasyland, there's a lot of fun attractions. There's some good shows. Now, I think some of the Fantasyland rides are a time. They're so much fun. They're also not super high on my priority list personally. I think I might give up fireworks and just do one nighttime show, maybe see if I can grab a few extra rides during fireworks. That's typically when you see wait times drop a pretty decent amount. Now I'm hoping to maybe spin a little bit on the teacup. I do have my Lightning Lane for that. And then, I don't know, run around. Maybe it's time to go ahead and stake out my spot for the parade after that. The world is my oyster. The Disney World is my oyster. Really my main priority tonight is seeing Disney Starlight because I have yet to see it. So that's really what I'm most excited about. I don't even have to have a great spot as long as I can see it light up. Mad Tea Party is that classic Magic Kingdom Disneyland style attraction. You sit in a teacup and you spin. I absolutely love it. It makes me smile, it makes me giggle, and it's even more fun with friends, but I'll do it solo any day. All right, let's just see which one we can get in. Let's see what we can grab. Oh, this one's open. We'll make it ours.
Do not forget to tell the cast members if you're traveling in a party of one on Space Mountain, because you might just get put into a separate line altogether and skip even more of the line. Super fun, very silly. You gotta treat it like a bobsled. You gotta like actually use your muscles and like lean into it, or else you just you'll get whipped around. While we were in line, since we scanned into that lightning lane, we were able to grab another lightning lane. There aren't a lot of lightning lanes that I'm interested in, because remember, this is not a who can do the most rides. This is about who has the best 4 hours. Yeah, so far we've hit 2 rides, a live entertainment offering, and we got a cocktail. That's a pretty solid start to me. But I did happen to grab Pirates of the Caribbean just in case. It is up to a 30-minute wait. That is going to eat up a lot of our time though, so it does have to be worth it, because yes, it is all the favorite things we like to do within those 4 hours, but we still only have 4 hours, so we want to be able to do as much as possible. But I kept thinking to myself, what am I going to do about food? Like what is the thing that I'm going to do? And I think I figured it out, and I'm pretty pumped about it. So just stay tuned for my favorite and likely most controversial food selection. I don't know if people are gonna love me or hate me for it, but either way, it's my 4 hours.
I love that ride so much. Now it's like 7:20, we're almost officially 2 hours in. I'm thinking maybe an ice cream moment and then enjoying the parade. I don't know what the crowds look like, so I might go glance at Main Street and see how crazy it is. And if I need to go ahead and stop now, or if I have a second to enjoy, to indulge. Look, Christmas castle, Christmas effects, Christmas special times. So much fun. I know you guys are probably watching this after Christmas. I think this comes out later. I think January maybe. Happy January, everyone. Happy 2026. Enjoy the castle. Okay, I made my glance. I think I'm going to sacrifice a great spot, which I think I could go ahead and still get half an hour before for a decent spot with a little treat attached. So I think that's my plan right now, because I want to try to maximize. I want to do a little bit of everything, and this is going to be, I think the best way for me to do it. Maybe not, but you know what? The parade luckily runs twice a night. Right now it's running at 8 p.m. and at 10:30 p.m. Be sure to check the times in my Disney Experience app just for whenever you're here. But even if I get just the worst spot possible, it might not count towards my best evening, but hey, after that, maybe I just go watch it for me. So it's not the end of the world, and I think you should consider that when you're here as well. Like, sometimes doing the first show time of something isn't always going to be your best option. Sometimes it's better for you to go to the second one. It's also important to note that not every single nighttime show does have that option. Happily Ever After only plays once. Tonight it's playing at 9 o'clock. If I choose not to go to it, I won't be watching fireworks tonight, at least not with projections. Okay, for my sweet treat tonight, I'm going to Storybook Treats. Ice cream here in Fantasyland. It was the closest, and the line for Plaza ice cream was a little bit crazy. So I'm gonna hop in line here, grab something fun, and then go get in line, or go get in a spot, I should say, for the lovely nighttime parade.
Up next, we have made our way into Liberty Square. Now, if I were gonna go get food, this is where I would go get it, which is Columbia Harbor House. I'm craving their lobster roll right now, but I'm gonna stay strong to what I would like to do. I'm excited about my first instinct. I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep that instinct. So for now, I'm gonna hit my next lightning lane, which is the Haunted Mansion. The Haunted Mansion is very dark. Last time I saw it, I was here for Mickey's Not So Scary, which was so much fun because it was the first time I got to take my daughter, and I absolutely love the ghosts that were in here. I believe his name is like Broom, the butler, and Carlotta. Just absolutely obsessed with them. I wish we could have them, or the actors in queues year round.
I grabbed the Aurora cone, but I know I'm not gonna eat it fast enough, so I asked for it in a cup. That's actually a nice little hack. If your kiddos really want ice cream and they really want the cone, but you don't want it to be as big of a mess as it could be, ask for this and they can do it for you. This is strawberry with blue Dole Whip swirled and then some crispy pearls. I'm very excited. Now I'm going to attempt to go back towards Main Street, find a decent-ish spot for the parade, because I'm going still pretty darn early, because by the time it kicks off in Frontierland, and it doesn't really reach Main Street until about 10-15-ish minutes later. So I should have plenty of time before it gets there. I might even be budgeting too much time, but this parade only came out this summer, only debuted this summer, and so it's still pretty popular, all things considered. A lot of people for fireworks if you're crazy like me, will go anywhere from 30 minutes to 45 minutes early to get their spot. If you're really passionate about it, and I think you should be passionate about live entertainment, you know, get you a good spot. It's also one of my favorite things about a park day, so that's why I'm dedicating a little bit more time to this than maybe I could if I were maximizing my 4 hours tonight. But I feel passion and excitement. So that's why I'm doing 2 birds, 1 stone, by enjoying some dessert and going and enjoying some entertainment. Okay, we fought through the crowd. We made it. I loved it. It's so sweet. Honestly, it does feel very reminiscent of Disney's most famous nighttime parade, which is the Main Street Electrical Parade. It made me feel like a kid again when I would watch the nighttime shows with my family. Like, that is one of the most, I don't know, clear memories from our first Disney trip, like watching that all together. So that was very sweet. I loved it. I love a parade, but I tend to not watch them because it's just so hot during the day that I don't feel like getting sunburnt and standing outside. So this was like perfect to me. It is around 8:30. We have 1 hour left. If you are planning on watching Happily Ever After, just stay. I was in a great spot for Happily Ever After once I moved up. I would have just stayed. I want to do some other things. I chose 1 nighttime show instead of 2. 2 is incredible, but there's just some stuff I want to do before I head out. Now we are going to head towards Space Mountain. It's finally reopened. I did get that next lightning lane for it, which it opened about 20 minutes ago. So we're going to go hop in line. I'd love to do the Peoplemover, and fireworks start at 9. So maybe we'll see a drop in some wait times. Who knows? I have a few more lightning lanes. There's some partying going on, but at this point, that felt like the cherry on top of our day.
Now, while I was waiting in line for Haunted Mansion, I did look at my Pirates of the Caribbean lightning lane, and I was able to bump the time down to 8:50, which is within 1,000%, which is in my 4 hours. Because spontaneity and chaos are a part of my perfect 4 hours. And yeah, is it 70 degrees? For sure. But I think it would be silly if I looked at my My Disney Experience app and there's only a 15-minute wait and I don't go do it. And that's Tiana's Bayou Adventure. Tiana's Bayou Adventure is a log flume ride. Tiana is throwing a big party in New Orleans, but they need a band. The whole plot is they're just looking for a band. Line did go up to 25 minutes. That's okay. I don't think it'll be too terrible. 25 minutes is probably pretty good. That does not look like 25 minutes. We'll give it a second. The whole premise of this attraction is Tiana is looking for a new band for their New Orleans party. But obviously humans aren't good enough to be a part of the band. So we got to get shrunken down to the size of a frog in order to find all the essential members to this band. I mean, I'm right here, but no, that's fine. You just, you want to get a possum who plays the banjo. No, like, it's cool. Like, do I have a mouth to feed? For sure. But no, you stick with your possum. I think that's important.
Okay, I just got off Space Mountain and it's so much fun. High thrills, indoor coasters, ride to space. One of my favorites. Little tidbit about me. While I was watching the parade, I kept thinking, like, what is that smell? What does that smell? Like, it just smells like a dirty gym. What is that smell? And then while I was waiting on Space Mountain, I was like, I think I sat in something. While I was waiting on the parade, did I sit in something? It was me. The smell is me. It smells terrible. I don't know what it is. I smell like a gym floor from like a middle school, and it's like all over my shorts. I don't know what it is. And I wanted to share that with you guys because I'm really embarrassed. And I was like in this video, even in the Space Mountain line, I was like, what is that? Sometimes it's you. And this time it was me. I'm like really actually embarrassed by it. You know what? We're having such a good night. It's like not a night ruiner, but now I'm really paranoid. So if you think, what does that smell? Might be you. You know, let's all look inward. Okay, now I'm itching for a people mover moment while we're over here. Still have about 20 minutes. That did not take long at all, thank goodness. Until fireworks. So we're not gonna necessarily get a fireworks people mover moment, but that's okay. That's okay. Even if you do ride the people mover during fireworks, you really only get to see them for like quick portions of the ride. So it's not like an all-encompassing, incredible ride. You know, like specialty, I should say. The ride itself is all-encompassing, incredible. That's why I'm doing it. But fireworks. Oh, I love this song. Crazy Nara, but tonight go crazy. All right, we're hopping on the People Mover. The People Mover is a ride above Tomorrowland. It's chill, it's cool, it gives you a different point of view that maybe you wouldn't get otherwise, and it's a great day break. Anytime you need a break, this is one of my favorite places to go. It's a decent like length, it's not too short, and 9 times out of 10, it doesn't have a super long line, which is always a reason to be a fan of the People Mover.
It never fails. As soon as you get off the ride, that's when the line is literally 15 minutes less of a wait than it was when you got on. Okay, I have grown an appreciation for Tiana's Bayou Adventure. I still think it would have been, sure, it would have been more in service to the fans, but I would have really loved some sort of conflict, not just a musical adventure, because every story needs a little conflict to be a good story, in my opinion. Whether it be emotional turmoil or real turmoil, that's fine. I'm pretty wet. Not ideal for this kind of weather. However, sometimes you risk it for the biscuit, just for funsies, just to say you did. And when it has a short wait like that, it's hard to pass up that opportunity. Now, I do have a couple other plans before we get to our time limit. We do have our lightning lane for Pirates of the Caribbean. We do have our lightning lane for Jungle Cruise, which is currently the Jingle Cruise, and we're doing it at night, which is very fun. But also, I think I deserve a little sweet treat. And then also, of course, there's dinner, which is a lot to accomplish before our time limit is over. Next up, I think we're gonna do the Jingle Cruise. I think we're gonna do it. Now, what is the Jingle Cruise? It is actually the holiday overlay for the Jungle Cruise, which is a slow-moving boat ride that takes you through several rainforest scenes. You see different animals. Yes, all the animals are animatronic. They are not real. Unlike the Kilimanjaro Safari over at Animal Kingdom. But this is such a classic attraction. It is so in demand. Typically, the lightning lanes for this are one of the first to be completely booked. Typically, you'll see this at a 45 to 60 plus minute wait, but because our lightning lanes, we happen to time it out just right. So, Jingle Cruise, let's get our holiday pun on. I turned the camera off, and one of the skippers said Merry Fishmas, already on a roll.
Okay, Happily Ever After started. Hear that song, makes me cry. You know, I'll walk this way. I'm changing my mind. Colored in some motion. Let's see, fireworks in the sky, fireworks in the sky, fireworks in the sky, fireworks in the sky. So we're still gonna be seeing some cool fireworks. They are so beautiful from Fantasyland. Although you're not seeing the projections, so give and take, give and take. All right, so we've gotten to see some of the fireworks, but I'm a rides girl today, so we're going to Under the Sea.
Okay, now I do have to make a choice because I can either choose between Pirates of the Caribbean or getting a sweet treat. So I'm going to Sunshine Tree Terrace, I'm going to get a root beer float, and we're gonna go see the Enchanted Tiki Room. The other option was use my Pirates of the Caribbean lightning lane, but we've done so many rides already, we've seen some great live entertainment. We went to a dance party, we got a cocktail. I feel like before I do dinner, we'll do a little dessert and a show is what I think is important.
I love this ride. It makes me emotional for several reasons, like connections with my mom, connections with my cousins, but today in particular, it made me think about my cousins, Landry, Tinsley, and Atlee. And when they were little, they would wave to Ariel and Eric and every time we passed them, so I waved to them today, thinking of my girls. Fireworks! Oh my gosh, fireworks! I'm holding them! Now we're gonna ride Winnie the Pooh.
Okay, root beer float acquired, and now into the Enchanted Tiki Room because you can take your Dole Whip in there, in my case a float, but you can take your sweet treats in there, which is kind of a cool thing you don't get to do in a lot of showrooms. So, shall we? 6 minutes to the next show.
End of the ride, 9:29, last thing.
Now, my hot take, my dinner for my perfect 4 hours of the Magic Kingdom, and that is going home and getting DoorDash, and I am serious about that.
Okay, there you have it. That's my perfect evening, my best evening. We'll see who wins out, but I think I made some surprising choices, so hopefully the bets won't work against me. And I also think I got to do a lot, considering we were only really here for 4 hours. Maybe not everything, but in 4 hours in a busy Magic Kingdom, I'm pleased with what I brought to the table.
Yes, I was very serious about getting DoorDash or Uber or whatever a food delivery service you have. You can actually get DoorDash or Uber Eats if you're staying at a resort, if you're staying at a good neighbor hotel. It's all available to you. You usually have to pick it up in the lobby, not a big deal, but this is how I would end my 4 hours. DoorDash here on my couch with my lovely wife. She's got her milkshake, I've got my fries, and we're good to go. And that is why my 4 hours at the Magic Kingdom should be the winner. Best. So, she agrees.
As you can see, you guys, we are all together. Are you ready for the final judging and the results of Rate My Trip? Make some noise!
I've never been more ready in my entire life. Let's go.
Now, these scores are a combination of the things that you did, that I judged, and our social followers who know how serious we are about fun. So let's get into it, you guys. I won't even hold you. And now, after the intense episode of Rate My Trip, it's time to reveal our season 1 winner. Y'all ready?
No.
In 4th place, we have the only competitor who managed to turn a Disney trip into a guided tour of his inner thoughts. Y'all think I know who this is? He didn't just play the game, he narrated the game. He reflected on the game and taught a lesson throughout the game. It was beautiful. It was philosophical. It was occasionally not point earning. The comments seemed to think that you decided that the real prize was being the most interesting man alive. So the question is, do you stand by your choice?
I forgot to write who it is. It's obvious, but it's
Is it?
I was 4th? You people made me 4th? I won against Quincy the first one. Do you remember that?
That's true.
How does this even happen? Oh, I can't wait to see how the scoring was done. Do we have a private, do we have an independent accounting firm coming in and looking, did we have an independent accounting firm come through and do all the points?
So, as you can tell, Breedlove was our 4th place winner.
Thank you so much. You know what? I accept this with pride.
On top of that, Breedlove also is recommending that AllEars and their point system that they do get audited. So I just want to, for the record,
we get an auditor on the point. I hear you. I hear you.
There needs to be an independent analysis.
I don't know
the person I'm playing against doesn't need to be counting my points.
Okay.
Everyone looks at the points, and it's like you guys all have 0, and I have 45, which is not even a possible number to get. I don't know.
Days were just that good.
Listen, this next one, you guys, is unprecedented. Okay? Second and third place are tied. Completely tied.
Oh, gosh.
And this is especially upsetting because these two people could not have played the game more differently. One of them treated this like a military operation. The other treated this like he accidentally walked into a competition and somehow just did well.
That's so rude. And also, this is so Quage coded. It's unreal.
It's literally like I feel like we're standing in the center of a bunch of people who are pointing at us as RJ reads this.
Sorry, RJ, continue.
No, I mean, the foreshadowing was everything because you guys are right. Tied for second and third, we have Quincy and Sage. Quage, y'all. Congratulations.
I'll take that, and if anybody is gonna Quage out so hard that they can't even have their own places by the second or third, then it makes sense.
Morphing.
I'll take it.
Somehow we do everything different, and yet we're morphing together.
You're becoming
Yeah.
Well, that means that our winner of the first season of Rate My Trip is the People's Champ, Emma!
Genuinely am shocked. I thought it was Quincy.
So congratulations, Emma. I mean, girl, you did that. Like, you somehow managed to do the impossible, have a genuinely good time, and still rack up points. So first place for the first season of Rate My Trip goes to you. I mean, your season was like watching someone experience Disney World for the very first time every single time, which is adorable, right? It's contagious, it's delightful, and apparently it's a winning strategy. You did that, girl. Congratulations.
I never thought moving home would help me win, but here we are.
I will say I was looking through the comments on the videos, and people were saying that you spoke full Tennessee because you called yourself full as a tick at one point. So
that was full as a tick. I have no recollection of saying that, but I'm glad that they got the vibes.
Yeah.
So Emma, if you could give advice to future players, what is the Emma method?
Honestly, I just like to do a little bit of everything. But that's how I like to vacation. And I think at the end of the day, all 4 of us have done exactly what we want. And that's what everyone else should do too.
Well, those final scores, just so everybody knows, it was very, very close. Remember, the scores came from the scores that we all got from RJ in each episode. And also from our bets. How many bets you got correct. You got extra points based on your bets, which was why the points were, some of us had a few more points. The only person who didn't get 5 points or 6 points from their bets was Sage. Everybody else got six bets correct over the course of the season. Sage got 4 correct. The difference in the scores, in the total scores for the whole season, Breedlove scored 30 points, Sage and I each scored 31, and Emma scored 33. So it was extremely close.
Oh my gosh.
So actually, I take it all back, and I like everyone. I love you.
I love this game.
Sorry. I'm me again, look.
Sorry. Look, he's moving. And Emma, as is our tradition here at AllEars, your prize for winning the first season of Rate My Trip is to do the outro!
Okay, there you have it. That is the very first end of our very first season of Rate My Trip. We do tons of stuff like this almost every single day of the week. Games, tips, tricks, all that. So make sure you like and subscribe. And to prove that you've made it this far, go ahead and drop this comment in the... Go ahead and drop this secret code in the comments. Be sure to stick around. We are so serious about fun. Bye, you guys.
Bye.
Charades.
Charades. We're not in charades, but I'm Charade's biggest fan.
Charade. Yeah, we're all in charade. Is it charades or charade? We're
I don't
all
remember.
in the band that we talked
We're
about.
in the EP coming soon.